When it comes to Donald Trump's marriages, you might think the media has already aired every detail. But there's more to his love life than the tabloids can handle. And there's no shortage of juicy gossip, feuds, and unfortunate moments. From Melania Trump's reserved role to Ivana Trump's groundbreaking contributions to the Trump empire, let's dig deeper into the curious, fascinating, and sometimes cringeworthy truths behind Donald Trump's romantic history. It's not all gold towers and luxury yachts. Donald and Melania, a love story of quiet detachment and public intrigue. Donald Trump's marriage to Melania is one for the books. Publicly, the couple has been the picture of a fairy tale relationship. But behind the scenes, not so much. Melania famously stated, "We don't have fights. We don't argue, we just disagree, and that's okay." The statement was echoed by Donald in an interview where he declared, "We never have arguments. We're literally compatible. We get along." Oh, really? Considering Trump's infamous feuds with his ex-wives and public squabbles with everyone from political rivals to his own staff, the claim is almost laughable. Could it be that Melania has truly never had a heated argument with Donald? Perhaps a little too perfect to be true. Then there's the famous delayed move to the White House. The Trumps weren't exactly in any rush to get Melania to Washington, D.C. In fact, Melania and son Barron stayed behind in New York City after the inauguration, racking up a hefty security bill around $24 million in just a few months. That's a lot of money for protecting someone who's more of an ornamental figure than an active player in the White House. Her decision to not immediately relocate also sparked public outcry, leading to Change.org petitions demanding that she either move into the White House or foot her own security bill. Melania eventually settled in the White House, but it left many wondering how involved she was in Donald's administration. It's not like she was planning to take the helm of national policy, right? When asked about her role as First Lady, Melania once stated, "I chose not to go into politics and policy. Those are my husband's jobs." But things took an awkward turn when Donald found himself embroiled in a sexual assault accusation. The allegations from Natasha Stoyanov, who claimed Trump had assaulted her in 2005, didn't exactly get a robust defense from Melania. While her lawyer issued a denial, Melania herself was noticeably absent from the narrative. It didn't paint her as the staunch defender you might expect. But perhaps, considering the chaos that followed Donald's presidency, it's easier for Melania to distance herself from his messes. And let's not forget the infamous awkward moments. For example, when Donald stumbled over his words during a press conference in Florida, describing how Melania really wanted to be with us after Hurricane Irma, people couldn't help but wonder. Did he even notice his wife standing right next to him? Maybe he was more focused on the devastation at hand. Who can blame him? Victor Navs, the man behind Melania's success. Melania's father, Victor Navs, has been another point of interest in the Trump-Melania relationship. Turns out he and Donald share quite a lot in common. He's only 5 years older than Trump, and his influence on Melania is unmistakable. In an interview, Melania described her father as hardworking, smart, and very capable traits she also attributes to her husband. Could it be that Melania's marriage to Donald isn't that different from her relationship with her father? Talk about family values. The silence after the Stormy Daniels scandal. The Stormy Daniels scandal shook the foundation of the Trump marriage. Allegations surfaced that Donald had an affair with the adult film star in 2006. Melania, however, didn't seem too eager to comment on the scandal. According to sources, she was angry, but instead of confronting her husband head-on, she resorted to subtle retaliations. For example, she chose to skip an overseas trip, opting to visit the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum instead, just a few miles away from the White House. The public was left wondering, was this her way of making a statement or simply a coincidence? And just to keep things interesting, rumors swirled about Melania threatening to renegotiate her prenup, demanding an increased monthly allowance and higher inheritance for her son Barron. After all, what's a political scandal without a little family financial maneuvering? The icy marriage. Are Donald and Melania really that cold? One of the most common criticisms of the Trump marriage is the couple's perceived emotional distance. From the outside, they appear like two ships passing in the night. In fact, sources close to the family have revealed that the couple often lives separate lives. They rarely share a bedroom, and they don't spend much time together except perhaps in front of the cameras. However, according to Melania's former friend Stephanie Winston Wolkoff, this separation isn't as bad as it seems. She explained they're not the type of couple that holds hands all the time. In fact, Melania herself has admitted, "We are both very independent. We give each other space. Sounds like the Trump marriage could be more of a business partnership than a romantic relationship. Melania, the chess player who knows the game. Melania Trump isn't just a former model or the First Lady. She's also a savvy businesswoman known for playing the long game. Some sources even claim that her decision not to immediately move into the White House was a power move to renegotiate her prenup. She wanted assurances that her son, Barron, would be treated equally when it came to inheritance. Donald might be used to getting everything his way, but it looks like Melania knows how to play her cards just right. Ivana Trump, the original power player. Before Melania, there was Ivana Trump. Ivana, born in Czechoslovakia, was an ambitious model who helped Donald Trump build his empire. But despite her important role in the Trump organization, their marriage wasn't without its flaws. Donald wasn't exactly respectful of Ivana's contributions, and he had a tendency to overshadow her. She was underpaid for her work, reportedly receiving just $1 a year for her role as CEO of Trump's casino, Trump's Castle. Ivana's marriage to Donald was marked by infidelity. Donald had affairs with several women during their marriage, including his eventual second wife, Marla Maples. In fact, Ivana and Donald's relationship started to fall apart when Ivana caught wind of Donald's extramarital activities. But she didn't go down without a fight. She reportedly confronted one of Donald's mistresses and put her in her place. But things got even messier when Ivana discovered Donald's affair with Marla Maples, which led to the eventual collapse of their marriage. Ivana filed for divorce in 1990, demanding more than the prenuptial agreement allowed. In the end, she walked away with $14 million, plus child support and use of Mar-a-Lago. Not a bad deal, considering the circumstances. Marla Maples, the Southern belle who was too different for Trump. Before Melania, there was Marla Maples. The couple's marriage in the early 90s seemed like an odd pairing, with Marla's Southern charm and Donald's New York arrogance. It wasn't long before the differences between the two became clear. Marla was a beauty queen from a small Georgia town, while Donald was an ambitious New York mogul. According to Marla, the marriage was built on an illusion. Despite the differences, the two tried to make it work for a while. Marla gave birth to their daughter Tiffany Trump, but their marriage was in trouble long before the divorce was finalized in 1999. Marla was reportedly tired of Donald's ego-driven lifestyle and his obsession with business. The couple's separation was public, and Donald didn't exactly hide the fact that he was involved with other women. Interestingly, Marla Maples wasn't a fan of prenuptial agreements, but she eventually signed one. When the couple divorced, Marla reportedly received $1 million from Donald, but that didn't stop her from speaking out about their troubled marriage. She described Donald as an obsessive person driven by his ego. And after the divorce, she distanced herself from the media spotlight. And there you have it. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Trump's marriages and all the drama that followed them, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps us out. And if you haven't already, subscribe to stay tuned for more juicy stories, behind-the-scenes gossip, and the kind of drama that only billionaires can bring. Oh, and drop a comment below if you think Donald Trump's love life could be a reality show all on its own, because we sure do. Catch you in the next video.